Deputy Administrator Brandt, in January, we wrote a letter to HHS Inspector General March Bell expressing our concern about disturbing patterns in provider enrollment in suspected fraud in home health and hospice companies in LA County, California. In addition, a recent CBS News investigation of hospice fraud in Los Angeles County also found alarming patterns. I ask unanimous consent to enter CBS News article entitled "We Visited Ground Zero for Hospice Fraud, Los Angeles, California," dated March 10th, 2026, for the record. Without objection, for the so ordered. CBS found that 89 hospice organizations were registered to one single address in Van Nuys. In addition, 700 of the roughly 1,800 hospice agencies in LA County trigger multiple red flags for fraud as defined by the state of California. They also found that 42% of hospice companies having multiple red flag indicators are still in operation there. None of the hospices flagged by CBS News in California's Enforcement Actions database. Deputy Administrator Brandt, what's CMS doing right now to address the very real concerns surrounding hospice fraud in Los Angeles?
We share your concerns, Chairman Joyce, and I appreciate you raising this. As I mentioned, Dr. Oz and I were just in Los Angeles, the second visit this year, and we've taken a number of approaches. First, as I indicated in my oral testimony, we are becoming much more aggressive in our follow-up efforts with new enrolled hospices. We're doing site visits, we're doing data analysis, and we're striving to make sure to take them out if they are not performing as a legitimate hospice when they're enrolled. We're also looking at the buildings that you mentioned and the companies that you mentioned that are in these facilities where you can have up to 100 or maybe 300 of these hospices all enrolled at a single location. As a result, we are upping our enforcement efforts to suspend or potentially revoke the numbers for the people in those buildings and to be able to validate their legitimate services are being provided, because we don't want to stop that, but we want to make sure that they are stopped when they aren't legitimate. Lastly, we have sent thousands of letters to people who have been enrolled in hospice to ask them to verify that they've actually been enrolled. The CBS News piece that you mentioned had the example of a woman who was enrolled in hospice and didn't realize it until her physical therapy claims were denied. As a result, now she would get a letter and she would know that and be able to come back to us and say, hey, I'm not in a hospice, I'm a healthy pickleball player. So that's what we are trying to do, and our hope is to take those 700 plus fraudulent hospices you're talking about down to 0 before the end of the year.
I think you would agree with me that all fraud is egregious. But as a doctor, hospice fraud in particular is egregious and interrupts medical care and actually can cause a patient harm. As you have been out fighting fraud with Dr. Oz, can you talk about what you have learned about the harm specifically to Medicare beneficiaries that has resulted from that hospice fraud?
Certainly, we've heard several heartbreaking stories. Several of them have involved people signed up for hospice or their loved ones signed up for hospice without their knowledge. We talked to one woman whose brother had a stroke, was not entirely mentally capable, so was living in an assisted living type of situation. People came by and seemed nice to him, seemed like they wanted to befriend him, got him to sign up for hospice, gave him a 40-inch TV, and then he was signed up for hospice benefits, which when he then came out with a serious illness that required hospice, several months later, threatened his ability to get signed up for appropriate hospice to actually treat the illness, which he was then diagnosed with terminally.
When a fraudulent claim is paid out, whether to a bad actor in a hospice or in home health or in durable medical equipment or any other sector, what is CMS recovery rate on those dollars that go out?
Unfortunately, it's very low. We don't have an exact estimate, but I would say probably 10%, which is why we need to shift our approach.
That's nominal compared to what it could be if we stopped that money from going out in the first place. Since CMS has turned the spotlight on certain states, increasing the necessary oversight, has fraudulent claims, have you seen a decrease?
Well, as I mentioned, I can't speak to the specific states because most of those efforts are relatively new, but with our Fraud Detection Operations Center that I mentioned in my oral testimony, we have stopped over $2.1 billion from going out the door just since the end of March last year.
I thank you for your vigilance on behalf of the patients who are being frauded, on behalf of the taxpayers who are paying for this. We appreciate the efforts. We look forward to working with you.